How are you? How are you? How are you? I hope everyone had a good Christmas. It's good to be back on. I hope everyone enjoyed their time, whether you were out doing things, big get-togethers, little get-togethers, just hanging out at home. Either way, I hope you enjoyed your time. Hope everyone is doing well. Hello. So I wanted to come on today and do an Ascension update. I got a lot for you guys this week. So I'm just doing some cards too real quick for everyone. How's everyone doing? So we have our meditation class tonight for all you who signed up for that. I will see you at 6 Central tonight. So for everyone else, how's everyone doing with the energy, the ascension, some really intense symptoms? People are feeling it all over the board. So I'm doing a lot of energy work. So I'm still feeling it here because I'm transmuting a ton of energy for people constantly. So my body's just trying to acclimate to the ascension and, upgrading everyone and everything. So you all may be feeling the same thing. You may be feeling it in your upper chakras. You may be feeling it in your stomach. Some people are having aches and pains. Some are super tired. You're going to feel all that still. So the 12/21 energy, the winter solstice, was really big. That allowed the more energy to come in and allowed more things to flip. I was picking up on the fact that there's still something that happened this month and is happening, but we're not being shown it quite yet. So that's still there. So whether or not we see it, I feel like it already happened. So we should be let in on that soon. Upper chakras are definitely feeling it. Yeah, big time. So for anyone with the throat chakra, I don't know if all of you read my energy blog on the website under the learning library. A lot of people are feeling it, not necessarily feeling it in their throat, but if they are feeling like a little tightening on and off or a tickle in their throat, it just means it's trying to clear out. So that could be from, that could just be communication. You have to set clearer boundaries and clearer communication with people. Or it could be from, I feel like for some people on here, it's the Akashic, because I'm feeling it tight here. It's making me feel like someone's pushing on my throat. So I feel like for some of you, you're clearing out Akashic, which means your Akashic records. So it's the book of everything that, all the lives you've lived here. And I feel some of you are releasing that because I feel it really tightly in my chest and in my throat. So a lot of people right now are struggling. So they're struggling because the energy shift is so intense. So what's happening is some people are feeling the upgrades and feeling the symptoms. Some people who are ascending are feeling that. But what's also happening is people are being triggered, depending on where your energy field is. It's those of the lower frequencies that are being triggered now. So those that reside in the darker, lower spaces, and that could be, and I don't just mean people who are a little fearful or a little anxious. I mean those who particularly intentionally manipulate within the lower energies. Those people are of the darkest energy in their field. So what's happening with them now is after the 12/21, it really amped up. So all their shadow and their dark side and the darker energy is being thrown in their face. So everything that they've put out there is coming back and hitting them. And a lot of them are just, they're not going to get it enough to make that flip, that switch. So they're just going to end up leaving. So we're going to see a lot more of that going forward. I'm already seeing it. I don't know if you guys are seeing it, but I've been seeing it. But it's going to amp up even more because of the 12/21. It was just a big energy shift. So those of the frequencies lower than Mother Earth is right now, they won't be able to hold the higher energies in. So when that happens, you can't sustain it here, then you can't stay in this physical space. So that's definitely something coming up. I'm still feeling it in my throat. So I don't know who's either watching this or going to be watching this that's having a lot of purging with their Akashic records. So it's either something you're working on, something you're releasing that you're struggling with. That could be a not necessarily like a physical symptom, but a pattern that keeps occurring and you don't know why. So I feel right now, a lot of the collective is living within different energy fields. I know I've said this before, but it's even more so now. So what's happening is there's those that have awakened, those that are, you know, on the side of awakening. They're slowly learning, they're slowly getting there. And then there's those that are just purposely staying in the 3D. They do not want to get out of the 3D. They are refusing their ascension. They're running from their ascension. Those are going to have the tower moments, the boom, boom, boom moments. If they still choose to stay in the lower frequencies in the 3D, then, you know, they'll be able to take an exit at that point. So you're going to see more of that, because between now and the 111, so between the winter solstice, the 1221, and then 111, there's the 1-1 and then also the 111 portal. So between now and the 11th, you're going to see a lot of big shifts, big changes within individuals. So what I'm getting is those who are awake, those who are, you know, working their way up into the 5D energy, you cannot push those who are not there. So we always talk about, you can plant seeds, you can, you know, simply show some information, but they're not going to want to see it. So they're not going to want to see what they don't want to see yet. So you just simply have to hold space, and you can't really push it. Like I said, I've said this a bunch of times, it's very individual. Each individual is on their own plan, their own journey. It's all very different. So a lot of people, you know, they have to come to it in their own way, in their own time, specific to their choices, their soul decisions, their journey. So I know that's hard when it's close relatives, you know, or parents, kids, siblings, you know, especially in those dynamics, it's very difficult. But I think the best thing people can do is claim their boundaries. That was one of the cards that flew out of me when I was doing cards right at the beginning when I first got on. And then follow your intuition. So a lot of people are resisting, or they're second guessing themselves, or second guessing their you know, their intuition, what they're getting. They're feeling energy, but they're thinking it's them. And I think a lot of you are picking up on other energies still. And a lot of you, if you're a light worker, you're still transmuting energies as well. And you're holding in the light. So you may feel drained, you know, so salt baths, because you may feel drained, tired, physically sore. Like sometimes if I'm doing a lot of that, I'll feel it a little bit in like my back, my lower back. Some people feel it up in their neck and shoulders. So it just kind of depends, but that just means there's a lot of energy work happening. So you have to make sure you stay on top of your physical self and allow yourself to, you have to aid your physical self to allow your body to help, you know, help the energy come in and out. And a lot of you just simply need to do the visualization techniques, and you're going to, you know, the universal law of attraction, how things work, is all frequency based. It's all based on your vibration. So no matter what you think, no matter what you see or what you think you're having a hard time with, if your frequency is of that field, you're going to draw it to you. So that goes for any kind of field you're in. So keep that in mind as well. I feel, like I said, for those who are of the lower vibrations, for those who are just running from their ascension, they're not awake. What's happening is the shadow is bubbling up to the surface for them. So like I said, everything they've been throwing out, intentionally manipulating within the lower frequencies, is coming back at them significantly. So if you're at a higher vibration, it can't touch you. So I'll have energies that try real hard to attach to my field or to mess with it, and they can't. It can't. I don't even feel it now. I used to be able to feel it, sense it, clear it, and now it's like it's so, I've gotten to the point where it's very much outside of the field. It can't even come near it. So you will all have this. You'll all get to this point. So I've just been working on it probably a lot earlier. So and there's other people like this too that have just been doing this for a long time, or they've been, like this since they were kids. So they've been working on it much longer. So everyone who's working on their ascension will get to the same point. So if you could be there now, where you're going to get to a point where the other energies around you, they won't be able to come near you. Your field will be so bright, so of the light, so of source light, that they won't be able to mess with your field at all. So I feel like some people, they can still sense, the daggers from the lower energies, or they're feeling the triggers, or the draining of pulling from your light. So all of that, the higher you get, the more you work on it and work on it and work on it, all that just kind of falls off. So it doesn't mean there isn't still the intention from someone else, but it's just not going to affect you the same. So I had some questions about that, so I thought I wanted to answer that and address it. So I hope that helps anyone who is asking, because the dark is super, super triggered by the light right now. So what's happening is the shadow within the globe is on its way out. So I told you that I've seen this for a while, months ago, that the dark energy, the strong dark energy that was feeding all these minions and all these dark soldiers and all these people we see, in the deep and then followed by state, all that energy is gone. So it's just dealing with the humans now that have absorbed all that and had that in their field, and those are the ones that are going to be dying off, essentially. So what we can do, because those of us who are of the light, the best thing for us to do is to just hold the space. So remember how I showed you the white light technique and holding that space in, because that's the best thing you can do. Because when you do that and you surround yourself with that, and you surround the situation and whoever is involved and the other side, that's magic. And you teach your kids that. I taught mine that. So it's very important for everyone to know how to do this, because you're using source light and manipulating that energy for good, because you're using it of a higher vibration, not of a lower vibration. So when you do that, you're using God's light and source light, whatever you want to call it, source light, of the best intention of light and compassion. So then you're, in doing that for others, you're raising your frequency. So use that for anyone who you're triggered by, who you're having communication issues with, or you can use that just in general, even if you don't know what the energy is, you can always use that. And salt baths are super, super important for clearing all that out too. So I don't know if anyone has any questions on that. I feel that, like I said, between now and the 111, there's going to be a lot of those types and those energies that won't be able to stay. So expect that. And then between now and March, there's going to be another kind of jump. So be prepared for that. So some of you just need a little direction, a little coaching or guidance. You can find that with whoever you listen to, whether it's spiritual like this, whether it's medical, whether it's financial, political. I kind of cover a little bit of all of them, but I do it spiritually through my intuition, through reading it. So you can go to experts in all those fields, but use your own intuition. Does it feel accurate? Does it feel right? If there's something about it that you're kind of going, something just isn't sitting right with me, follow your gut, follow your intuition on it. That means either the vibration is off or there's something not truthful there. Because I feel some people are getting a little overwhelmed with all the information coming out from all directions. That's why on Telegram, if you follow me on Telegram, Holistic Living Practice with the number 1, I put articles and things on there that you can go see the resources for that, because I feel I put stuff on there that I feel people need to know for one reason or another, because I feel some of it gets so overwhelming for people, and it's just like a little bit of a struggle. So I'm trying to condense it. That's part of what I'm doing. I'm trying to give you the main points. I'm trying to condense information. That's part of what our coaching packages are. It's bringing everything together for you in one place. I've been doing the white light visualization. I'm just wondering how just the action of visualizing it actually works to produce the result. I hope that question makes sense. Yes, because what you're doing is you're using, so okay, energy doesn't actually have color. Not really, not the energy itself, but we perceive it as color, so we can understand it and interpret it. So that's why the chakras all have colors. That's why there's the light in people's fields, the dark, the gray, the black, you know, depending on where your frequency is, so that I can see as a reader, or you can see just using your intuition, what's off. So I can do like a scan and see what colors are coming out at me, what's uneven, what's unbalanced. Is there a dark trying to attach to your field? Is there dark within your field? Is it all light? I mean, that's how I can see and visually get where people are, so that I can help them more. And you can do it too. If you're meditating and there's a color that pops out at you, it's related to a chakra. So it just helps us interpret and communicate. And then also when we picture it in our head, we're using the light. So we're using the color to bring the light in. But it's not necessarily about the color itself. It's the energy we're manipulating. So it's the energy behind the color. So I hope that makes sense. I know sometimes that's a little confusing for people, but it helps. So when you're using source light, when I say do the white light visualization, that's the creator, our source creator. You can say God, whoever you want. There's one creator. And you're using that highest vibration of love and light, peace, joy. It's the very, very, very highest uncompassion, you know, or unconditional love is what I meant. And the compassionate light. So you're using that energy up there, and you're bringing it down, and you're covering your field with it, and you're covering someone else's field with it. So you're using the strongest white light of protection, the strongest white light of love possible, and bringing that into the physical space. So I hope that makes sense. Tell me if it doesn't, or if you have another question on it, because I feel that if it's related to you, it'll work. If you're of the vibration, now if you don't believe in it and you're just sitting there going, rolling your eyes, then it's not going to work. But you have to set the intention that you're doing this. This is the activity you're doing. This is what it does, and trust and know that the universe will follow with it. You know, your guides and angels and everyone will follow with it if you're of the highest vibration, if that makes sense. So I hope it does. I can go in a whole video just on that, and that's why I do the meditation classes and the coaching, because I do go into detail in that in coaching, and then the classes I explain it a little bit more. But I hope that just anyone listening to that, it makes sense. So it's really your intention, and then it's faith and trust in the universe that it's going to, you know, back up on its end. So I hope that makes sense, because a lot of people say, well, I don't get it. Well, some people say, I don't get it. It's just color. Well, it's not actually color. It's energy. So the color is just what we use to interpret it. So just like every other color, just like the sky is blue, trees are green, that kind of a thing. We're using the interpretation of color to decipher things. Because if everything was the same, if everything was white out there, outside, it would be hard to tell what's what. It's the same thing with energy. It's hard. I mean, it would be good if everything was white, because that's all of the lightest energy. But if it was all the same color, you couldn't tell what is what. You wouldn't be able to decipher this versus this. So I hope that makes sense. Yes, thank you. It's the intention behind it, though. Yes, the intention. Yes, thank you. Okay, good. I hope that makes sense. I know I try to interpret things the simplest way I can, because sometimes if I jump from here to here, people get lost in translation. So I try to do it really easy as possible, and then I can go into more detail if that's making sense. Do you feel like a lot of okay, so I don't want to say that word, but false followed by the word flags will be coming. Some, because they still want to push, you know, whoever's left there still wants to push a certain agenda. So you may see some, but if you're not living in fear, you won't fall for it. So just be mindful. I would just say be mindful. If you have a feeling one day, you know what, I feel like I should stay home today, or I feel like I should just keep my kids home, or I feel like we should do this to, you know, whatever it is, follow that, because it's your guides. If you get a random thought out of nowhere, it's most likely your guides. If it's something that you feel is more of like a protection thing, then I feel like that's your guides. Or I should do this, or I should go get this gem today. Something like that. That's all your guides. Or if you are planning to go to this store and then this store, and say you go to one store and then your gut feeling is, you know what, I should just go home. Follow that gut feeling. But don't let it sit in fear. So when you get a thought, what I tell people is let it pass through your mind. So read the thought in your head and let it go to your gut feeling, and then go, okay, should I follow that? Because sometimes what people do is it can be any thought that pops in and they let it circulate, and then they overthink, and then they come up with a million things. So, a million problems, and then they create a whole set of problems that wasn't actually there. So let it just kind of go through you, pass through your mind, be mindful of it, go to your gut feeling. Do I need to follow it or not? Is this something I can dismiss or not? What is that? So I hope that makes sense too. A lot of people are too much in their head, because when I tap into the collective lately, I get very dizzy. So they're way overthinking. Everyone's way, way, way too much. The collective for the most part, not everyone, but way too much in their head. So it's important to let it flow through you and go to your gut feeling, and come from your heart space, and come from your solar plexus, which is your personal power, your gut feeling, where your source light resides, all that. So I hope that all of that makes sense. If anyone has any other questions, but we're still, I'm going to do the January tarot, I think tomorrow, but that'll be out after probably New Year's Day. So a lot of what we were seeing, like a lot of what I was seeing with December and things kind of coming out of nowhere, a lot of that has actually already taken place, because the energy of it has already happened. It's already there. So it's just a matter of us seeing it in the physical. And I still think, I know it's the very end, but I just still feel like there's still something. So we will see what that is. I'm just going to do a collective card read real quick. Hello, to see the energy. And I'll post this so people can watch it from the beginning if you missed it. I hope that how I'm explaining things, is resonating with people. See what we need to focus on this week. So I got another abundance card. So humanity we have abundance right in front of us. I feel like it's financially, and abundance just isn't about money, but I do feel like it's financially. I feel like there's health abundance coming. We're going to have access to things we've never had before. I feel that we're going to have the ability to have more freedom. We're going to have less stress. We're going to have more room, if that makes sense. Hello, I just got the notification you are live. Oh, but yes, I'm live. I try to announce it before so that people can look on the stories if they want to watch it live, and if you can ever ask questions. But so also rest and rejuvenate. So a lot of people just need to take it easy as much as you can this week. Allow everything to kind of settle in, allow the energies to settle, allow your body to recoup, because I feel that there's things coming forward that, we're going to have to work on. So follow the moon pattern. A lot of you are sensitive to the moon energy, so pay attention to new moon, full moon, all that, because that brings a certain amount of energy in. It brings a certain pattern of things. So just be mindful of that. Too much in your headspace. So too much overthinking. Try not to. Like I said, let it kind of come through your mind. Be mindful of it. So I don't mean just ignore every thought. But what I mean is, if you get a thought of, you know what, I shouldn't go to the mall today, then just don't and follow that. And don't overthink it. Don't step in, well, if I do, just don't even. Just follow it and move on. So a lot of people, they let it sit in their head way too long, and they're going around and around and around in circles. And then that just creates anxiety and stress. So just let it flow through you. You'll feel more balanced. You can call in on the angel of balance too. And they'll be able to kind of help you. Because I feel some people are having a hard time balancing the physical, emotional, spiritual. It's all kind of a lot, all the main bodies. So mental body, emotional body, physical body, spiritual body. But when you work a little bit on each one, it helps you just all around feel more balanced, more even, more collected. Clear out any old, like out with the old, in with the new, I'm hearing. So it's like clear out old, whatever it is, clothes, or I know some people need to redo their rooms, or is someone redoing their house or moving, or because I'm seeing people redoing rooms. So it's like if you haven't redecorated, I know that may sound weird, but it's going to bring in some fresh energy. So change up the colors. So not necessarily going out and spending, you know, a ton of money on redecorating, but like just changing out the colors. So grab a new throw blanket and pillow, and then maybe a new like picture, or a new, I'm seeing like a vase or a new gem, just like a couple things to bring in some new color into your house. Because a lot of people are spending more time at home. So it's kind of bringing in new colors. What color, like we talked about the colors with the energy. So what colors do you want to bring more in to help balance, you know, your physical? So you have to think about that in your surroundings, what you're wearing, what you're eating, all that. And I still feel that this man with the coin keeps coming in with action. So guys, I feel like there's already a new money system that's up and running. And I've heard of some people that are like their credit card got paid off, or their bank closed, and they don't have to deal with, like, they don't have to pay back a loan. I've gotten a couple messages about that, and I feel that I've been hearing that, like not directly, but I've been hearing other people say that too. So I think that's interesting. So I think it's already there. It's just, it's going to be a very quick, very easy little flip. So keep an eye out for that. I feel that people who felt deceived in relationships are going to be moving on. I feel some people are going like this. And I feel when you do that, you're going to open the door to healing. You're going to be much happier, because I feel like there are some people that have just outrun their karmic relationship. They've outrun their, you know, the dynamic. They signed on for a certain amount of time, and like the soul contract is up. So that can be in a personal relationship, which I'm getting mostly this is, but it can also be related to like a close friendship. It can be a parent dynamic, whatever it is. People are needing to kind of go their separate ways, and that's when you have to put up boundaries, stand in your power, and it's going to open things up. So I see a lot of people going in new directions, relationships, career, family dynamics, bringing new dynamics in together to form your own family. You know, family doesn't just have to be blood. So I'm moving soon. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. So I feel that I was saying just new. So it could just, I mean, you obviously, because you're moving, but it could be everyone else too needs to just kind of move, like move stuff around in their house a little bit. Are there soul contract exits happening as well? Yeah. So, oh, this is interesting. So yes, I feel that the exits so when certain, okay, so for example, I know a particular two people who it is a, I'll just say parent and child dynamic of an adult child. And one of them, I don't ever give away details, names, or even genders when I use examples. But one of them has a very strong, from a past lives, karmic hold. And so this person is stuck. So when the one exits, because that's their soul plan, the other will break free of that contract, and they'll be able to move forward in a different way. And that was something they agreed to, whether they know it or not. I feel like these, one of them is not conscious of it. The other one is more aware. And so that's an example of that. When one exits, whoever they're tied to in a negative way will break free of that. And I also feel that some of you, it's not just because of exits though, because remember, it's not like half the world is exiting. So, but it's when you make the personal decision to stand in your power, then it ends, because you've made the action. You made the choice, the decision. You showed the universe that you want a new direction, so they bring it back in and bring you what you've given out. So it'll be a karmic ending. There's a lot of soul contract endings, a lot of karmic endings with this new energy coming in. So it doesn't just mean exits. But people in particular, if they're not resonating with the new earth energy, if they're not going to ascend and acclimate, they will not be able to stay here. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter. It just is. So it may happen over a little bit of time. Like for some, it may take, maybe it's this month. For some, maybe it's a few months. For some, maybe it's in a year. But it's that they won't be able to stay. It just depends on their level and where their energy is at. Because I've tapped into some that are of the lowest frequency possible in human form. So they will not be here long. So I hope that that made sense too. So this is interesting. So I feel, so Sacral Chakra, which is orange, which is where, you know, the womb is, or, you know, if you're a female, if you're a feminine. Some of you have been kind of tied up and stuck when it comes to that. So you're blocked a little bit. So that can be from past karmic relationships. That could be from Akashic that you're releasing from past life relationships. It could be from your current relationship here. So a lot of you, I feel I've been seeing this too. They needed to kind of break free or change a dynamic in order to clear out. So not that you can't clear out with, but some relationships were not meant to be lifelong. And I think some people are having a hard time with that right now. And they think they could just, you know, they thought maybe it would be okay. They would just go along. But with what's happening right now in the world and where the energies are going, it's not possible. So if you're looking for something more detailed for anyone, it would be just a private reading, because I don't want to tap into too much personal here in a group. But it's not everyone. Some, it'll just take, you know, if two are married and one frequency's here and one's here, but this person will slowly get there, then it, you know, you're meant to just, you're going to stick together, but it may just take one person a little longer. But what I have been seeing is the other person, for some people, they're just not going to get there in this life. So then it's kind of up to the other person to take a little action. So take that as it resonates, but I am seeing that. So if you're in that position, you are not alone, because I've been seeing that a lot in readings. I feel when it comes to healing, people are anxious. They don't know what's going on. They're purging a lot, they're releasing, they're doing a lot of soul healing on a higher level without realizing it. A lot of you are doing it in your sleep. A lot of you, your angels are working on you a lot, and you're not sure what it is. But if you look in the picture, see how the storm has already passed and it's moving on, and she's still so wrapped up in her head and her thoughts that she can't see past it. That's a lot of the thing too. A lot of people don't realize the worst is behind them. They don't realize the big major part is over, and they're just so overthinking. Like, remember how I said, when you get a thought, if you want to use this as a visual, don't let it circulate in your mind, because that causes the anxiety, the stress. So let it go through that and into your gut and think, is this right? Do I need to act on this? Should I just be mindful of it? Because even me as a reader, I will get thoughts randomly where I know that it's my guides telling me, so I don't act on it, but I'm mindful of it. So I may be doing certain things in order to, prevent something else, or I may just sit with it and know that that's there, but I'm not going to overthink it. So it's like you have to try to do the same thing. So I feel that for everyone, it's just their own journey. Everyone has their own journey. So just honor your own journey where you're at and let everyone else worry about that. Because you can't change someone else. You're not responsible for anybody else except for your minor children. Everyone else is responsible for themselves. So even if your kids are like 18, 19, 20, 21, they're responsible for themselves technically. So yes, you can guide, you help guide, help protect, but it's really on them. It's really up to them. So they have to take the reins down. So a lot of people have trouble with that because they're not sure, you know, some parents don't want to overstep, but they want to be there enough. So it's like a fine line. So just be mindful. So a lot of you are light workers. So I feel like a lot of you, feel like a lot of you have ascended masters that work with you or work on you, and they do a lot of work with you when you're sleeping. So ascended masters include Jesus, you know, all that energy. You can call on them when you need help and say that you're open to their help, you're open to their energy, because you have to ask. It's free will, so you have to ask. But I'm getting the happy family card. So for anyone who's worried about their family, like I don't feel like you should attach worry to it. Like I said, there's things to be mindful of, things to work around, but you don't want to attach worry or fear, because that just drags down your vibration, and that's just not helpful. God, so the sun has been coming up. Okay. So remember how I said there's a new sun with new healing frequencies. So if you like today, it's a blizzard here in Chicago, so there's no sun. But make sure you're taking vitamin D. Vitamin D every day. Check your vitamin D levels. You can check with the doctor, you know, or a natural doctor to see exactly how much you should take or how low yours is. You know, I'm not giving like I can't give professional health advice, but I will say that vitamin D, a lot of people are low in vitamin D. Globally, so this is globally, people are having to make the decision for themselves whether they're ascending or not. And a lot of people between, like I said, the 1221 and the 111 is their last chance to kind of make that choice. So this is for everyone running from their ascension. So if not, they're going to have those boom, boom, boom tower moments, or some of them, if they're at a super low frequency, they're not meant to be here for New Earth. They didn't choose that. They chose to leave before that, you know, official change, so then they will. Stay strong. So call in on your angel strengths, call in on your joy guides too, to help lighten the mood so that you're able to take on, you know, a little more. Because I feel like some people, they get so wrapped up in one thing and they let themselves drop so low that they lose a little bit of that inner strength. So call in on the strength. Yellow, so yellow gems, wearing yellow, it's a personal power. It's where your source light resides. It's where those gut feelings come from. Very, very important. Also ties with vitamin D. So all that correlates. And again with the moon. So someone is super sensitive to moon energy. I will try to find a layout of the moon cycles coming in the year. And I'll try to post it so people can, you know, take a picture of it. So I feel that, oh boy. So the world card, yes, so yellow, here we go. So third chakra, Archangel Shamuel. So like I said, that's a very important color right now. And this is worldwide. I feel like there's a lot of people in our lives in one way or another that's of a lower frequency, that's envious of those with a higher frequency. It causes them anxiety because they know that they can't manipulate it. They know they can't live within the higher energy, work within the higher energy, and there's an envy there. So those are the people that will have to have either the tower moments or they just won't be here, because they're focusing a lot on fear, on what they don't have, on trying to use old ways of manipulation within the dark that are not working anymore. A lot of people are having higher crown chakra expansions. So headaches, head pressure, little bits of lightheadedness that come and go. Some people get head twinges, something like that. It's all your crown opening. So that's violet, so that's purple. You can do meditations for that. So they literally just threw out all the exact same cards. Let me just show you how I said that the action was needed, how I said envy came in with anxiety, and this. So that's their biggest message today. They want me to focus on that. I am very sensitive to the moon cycles, huge headaches. Yes. So that could be also ascension though. So you could be having ascension. I feel like you're having ascension symptoms as well. But yes, moon cycles do relate to that. It's balance. It's balance and it's third eye expansion. A lot of people's third eyes are expanding. So they're getting the headaches, head pressure. So it's like the crown here. So when you feel it here, it's crown. When you feel it here, it's third eye. So it depends on where it is. Some people feel like they have, it's like all right here. That's your third eye, because your third eye resides here. So you can feel it all in here, and you can feel it all in your forehead. Some people, their eyes are totally closed. Some people, it's here, it's here, it's here. It just depends. So it's just finding a community and staying in a community where you feel comfortable. So if you're comfortable with us here in this community, it's staying in that circle, and it's constantly communicating, and it's being involved with each other, and it's talking. Like, feel free to friend each other. Things when you can share like-minded conversations, because this is how a lot of people are coming together. And the new earth is through the internet, really. It's through pages where people have like minds, and people who you would meet who you would have never met otherwise, you know, from all over the world. So it's going to bring in a lot of abundance. So cornucopia of abundance. So, you know, feel it's okay, especially if you see the same names in here, feel free to friend each other, have conversations. It's like encouraging that new community. That's what I'm trying to do. But my page is really only for people who are ready, who know, who have been there. If you're not so sure yet, my page may still trigger you. I'm very sensitive to moon cycles, huge headaches. I feel very lightheaded for sure. Yeah. That could be too much in your headspace, but it could also be combined with ascensions too, ascension symptoms. So it's just resting through it. We have formed a like-minded group where I live. Makes it easy to find professionals. It's amazing. Oh, I love that. So where are you from? Can you mind telling us what state you're in or country? I love that. Yeah, people will find it more and more. People may find it more online, and then they'll be able to find local communities too like that. That's awesome. Not every town, not everyone has that. Boy, super close to them. So it's good to see that. A lot of people, they have to let go of the past, and it's okay. Breathe through it. It's all right. Canada. Yeah, I figured when I said state, I heard country. So, oh, that's awesome. I love that, especially out of Canada. I know everyone's kind of having a hard time. Like, I live in a pretty liberal state, but I'm not going with that. So do whatever you can do to stay in your power. But that's awesome. I love hearing that from Canada. It's great. Been extremely tired lately too. Yeah, that's part of the ascension. You're ascending. You're having ascension symptoms. V Huff. You're having ascension symptoms. So salt baths, grounding outside. So you can ground in any weather as long as you're outside, in the rain, in the snow, whatever, you can ground. I feel just salt baths. Okay. Salt baths will help, and lots of water. If you can do lemon water, if you're okay with citrus, lemon water or alkaline water. And if you read my energy blog for the week under the Learning Library online, that's what I got for that too. Expect the best, which is the visualization technique. So don't try really hard not to let yourself get in like worst case scenario. Try very hard yeah, it's like some of you are creating situations out of fear. Try not to do that. Follow your gut. Follow your gut. Don't overthink. Follow your gut and go with what you feel. I feel some of you should be writing. So some of you write down, this is how I want a career to look for me. This is what I want to do, and write it down and keep it. Put it up somewhere. It's going to draw it to you. And some of you need to do burn and release letters around the moon cycle, okay? So I hope that this helps. It was good to see everyone. I will be joined tomorrow with a guest tomorrow night. So I'll be doing a live tomorrow night around 6 o'clock Central. And we're going to be doing a live interview. We will hit certain talking points. So if you could join us for that, that would be awesome. I'm really looking forward to it. We're going to get a male's perspective on the divine masculine and what's going on right now and what people need to do. Excuse me. Visualizing best life. Yes. So as always, I'm sending all so much love and light, and I will see you tomorrow evening. Take care.